Good morning to everyone. Uh, Thank you for taking out the time to join us on this call. And as it is our usual as it is every Monday, we go through the activities that transpired during the market for last week. Starting this morning, we'll begin with the fixed income market. Uh, Last week, just as we predicted, okay, sorry, we didn't meet last week because of the public holiday. But I think what transpired last week was in line with our expectation. We saw that at the close of the week, at the close of last week, the funding rates are suppressed or declined as we saw some improvements in liquidity in the system. Although during the week it was a bit skeletal, as during midweek we saw the funding rates went up as high as 34%. But with the inflows that we got in the markets at the close of the week on Friday, particularly the FGN bond coupon, we saw that saturate the markets, thereby leading to an easing in the funding rates. The open buyback rates declined by 151 basis points to close at 29.69, and then the overnight rates declined by 176 basis points to close at 29.97. Due to the liquidity status in the market last week, we saw the activities in the treasury, both the treasury bills market and the secondary bills market, were quite mixed. As our treasury bills market, we saw sell-offs largely by the financial institutions to raise liquidity. As at Wednesday, Thursday, liquidity was almost at the negative zone as banks had to rely on the standing lending facility by the CBN to carry out their daily activities. But which eventually at the end of the week was altered by the bond coupon payment that was made. So as a result of the sell-offs we saw by the banks, we saw that the yields advanced by an average of 51 basis points to close the week at 20.79. Although the advancement we saw in yields, we believe is going to be short-lived, as there's another auction holding this week, which we expect that the CBN would also decline or cut rates on the stop rates, just as they've done in the last 3 to 4 auctions. Later this week on Wednesday, we can see that there will be an auction where 233 billion worth of NTB will be on offer. And just like I said earlier, we expect that the rates would be declined. So we expect the CBN to cut rates just as they've done, because we can see that their aggressiveness in terms of borrowing has reduced. And that isn't surprising considering that the DMO recently did a domestic USD bond where close to about 900 million was offered. So it was a total subscription. We don't have the details of the amount allotted, but we know that the plan was to raise 500 million. But with 900 million on as total subscription, we expect that so that's an indication that they got well over the amount that they budgeted to raise from the market. So all those as sustained the dovish move by both the CBN and the DMO. Also this week we have the FGN bond auction holding today. There's an FGN bond auction holding today where 3 maturities are going to be on offer, the 29s, the 33s, and the 34s. Just as I said earlier, we expect that the dovish move by the CBN, when I say dovish, I mean reduction in rates by the CBN and the DMO we've seen in the past months would also continue this week, which gives an indication that the markets, both the treasury bills market and the bonds market, are most likely going to close on the bullish notes, as we expect rates to decline on both ends of the market. So for the bonds market last week, just in contrast with treasury bills market, we saw that the bonds market closed on a bullish note, and that was because we saw some improved activities, particularly at the close of the week. And that was not surprising because expectation is that rates would reduce at the coming auction. So people are trying to buy the higher yields that are currently available in the market, which eventually led to yields declining. And on the tenor basis, we saw that yields declined on the short to the mid end of the curve by 48 basis points, while at the long end of the curve, we saw an advancement of 3 basis points. Just in line with the auction that is taking place today, we saw the activities were skewed largely towards the mid maturities, as the 28s, the 29s, the 30s, the 34s, and that's also the bonds that are going to be on offer at the auction today. Like I said earlier, the 2039, the 2033, and the 2034 would be on auction today, and those were the maturities that caught investors' attention last week, just to place ahead of today's auction, where rates are expected to decline. So after all the transpired at the market last week, we saw that average yield declined by 19 basis points, closed at 18.66. And just like we said, we can see from the graph there, the blue line represents what transpired last week. We saw the decline from the 3 years to the 10-year maturity. That's to point our attention to where investors are playing across the curve. And for the foreign exchange markets, we're beginning to see some improvements in the exchange rates, and all thanks to liquidity that has improved in recent times. The question is, would that be sustainable? I guess time will tell. And then we also saw the CBN also resume the retail sales auction. We saw one took place about 3 weeks ago, and from feelers in the market, another auction is expected to take place by next week. The last retail auction, we saw that CBN sold at 1,580 to the BDCs. So as a result of that, we saw some moderation in some improvements rather in the strength of Naira. And the close of the week, Naira closed at 1,541 Naira 52 kobo as against 1,546 Naira 41 kobo. It closed the previous week. Also across the forward contracts, we can also see that Naira improved across all the contracts. We hope that this trend would continue, as what every rational investor wants is a stable foreign exchange market to be able to, for them to be able to plan and make projections without uncertainty. For our expectation in the market for this week, just like we said, we expect that the funding rates would remain around the levels that they are currently. And that's because some inflows are expected this week, and that would likely moderate out or net off the expected outflows. Both the treasury bills and the secondary market, sorry, treasury bills and the GM bonds market are expected to trade in line with the auction results, and that will be on the bullish notes because we expect that both the CBN and the DMO will cut rates. For all our clients who have been joining the session, one thing they can testify to is the fact that we've been preaching that rates are beginning to decline. And as we can see from the previous auctions and also from the activities in the secondary market, that is exactly what is happening. That we know a number of clients who have taken yield to our call by taking some key investment decisions, particularly for the long end. And I'm very sure they are happy to have taken those decisions, because some 2-3 months ago, average rates in the fixed income market was around 20-21%. Now average rate has declined to as low as 15-16%. Imagine something that you could have enjoyed at 20%. Now you're struggling to 15-16%. And the projection is that the rates will continue to decline at least for the rest of the year. So there are various products that we can take advantage of. You know, a rational investor, the objective of a rational investor is to get the best returns on their investment. And the various products that we've put in place can afford you the opportunity, from our lead fixed income fund to the lead balance fund to the dollar fund, and also for our fixed deposit products. You know, those products have been well created to give an opportunity for clients to take advantage of the current bullish run in the market, which, as I've said earlier, would not be sustained for a long while. For the lead fixed income fund, currently with an annualized yield of 24%, I think that's a very competitive one, and it's something that we are calling on our clients to take advantage of. For the lead balance fund, I think the current annualized yield is about 18.5% now. You know, quite attractive. For the lead dollar fund, currently the annualized yield on lead dollar fund has increased to 15%. As we saw we took some strategic action in the last couple of weeks, so that has also improved the yield on on the fund. And to put it in context, the last FGN domestic USD bond that was raised was at 9.5%. And with an analysis of 14-15%, I think you're better off in this fund than any other products that are currently available in the market. And then for the Leaf Gazelle portfolio, it's a fixed deposit products whereby you get to lock your funds for for various tenors from 90 days to 180 days and then to 365 days. And now that we are certain that rates are beginning to decline, I think that now is the time for any rational investor to take advantage of the current high rates that are available in the market. And then lastly, for the Euro bonds trading, we've emphasized on this. You have some FX and you're looking at investing. This is a very good opportunity a very good avenue rather to deploy those funds into. And with this, we've come to the end of the session. If there are inquiries on how to key into this product, our customer service lines, our customer service representatives are there to provide guidance and clarity. So we're going to the equity market review right now.
So thank you, Mr. Sam. So to the equity market review, we saw the boot taking over the market last week, and that as we predicted last week, that is our expectations that we expect as the money market, the interest rate is getting lower. That we also have an impact on the capital market, and we saw that the market capitalization grew by 81 basis points last week. So that is what we have been advising for people that have taken position in the fixed income during the first quarter, the second quarter, and we saw that there is a reduction now, and people have started, there's a capital inflow to the equity space, and we encourage our clients. We have arrays of products, whether on money market, the capital market, that we can seize advantage of the market. Now, where is the opportunity? What market should we be looking at now? And I tell you that the best market now is the equity space. So we have huge opportunities in different sectors that we need to look into. And then as we are going to the last lap of the market, we are now moving to the last quarter of the market. And that is where the game lies. And we saw what the market did, the banking sectors, their result. It was fantastic. And huge result for the first time, GTB crossing 1 trillion profit after tax. That is a huge for that sector. And we expect at the end of the year, something huge also will come out of that sector. So we are encouraging our client to take position now. This is the best time to come into the market and then seize the opportunity. So what happened last week, we saw a total turnover of 1.8 billion worth of shares, value at 38.4 billion was traded last week. Investors, compared to what we had in the previous week, 2.58 billion shares valued at 51.205. And the financial sectors also topped activities last week with activities of 820.82 million worth of share value at 61.15 billion. So they contributed to 44.13 of the market in terms of the value and 42.01 in terms of the volume traded last week. And the other gas sector also followed by 443.71 worth of share valued at 5.0 billion. So in terms of the top stocks last week, we saw Japan Gold, First Bank, and UAC top the most traded capital stocks last week. For Japan Gold, 728 worth of million shares was sold, and 10 billion worth of First Bank was sold. And we saw the capital market yesterday, the all share index that mentioned the direction of the market increased by 0.81, that is 81 basic point yesterday, to close at 98.24 basic points. And the all share index, the market capitalization closed at 56.46. So what is this telling us? That we saw inflows of capital into the market to tell us that the sentiment of people sent now to the capital market as a result of reduction in the money market space. And this also today, the CBN also, they'll be meeting to tell us the next phase of the MPR for the remaining quarter of the year. And we believe that it's either they maintain the status quo or there will be a reduction at least to a minimum of 25 or 50 basic points. And that will be a very key point for the capital market to grow, and we saw more of capital inflow. So what we are advising our client that this is a huge opportunity. So let us look at sectorial performance and let us see that where are the sectors that we can keep in. For now, for the consumer, they are year to date, they have done 37.76, industrial have done 41.93, insurance has done 29.10, Lutos, one of those sectors that we are covering, has done 36.68, oil and gas has done 84.80. So that means that where we have majority of the point that we can seize in the banking sector, their year to date now is 1.59. That means that sectors, what we can see it in that sector, the advantage of the sector, and we know what will happen at the end of the year, the result that will come out. If they can be paying for the first time, Zenith Bank paid ₦1 as their interim dividend, GT also paid ₦1, Stanbic IBTC paid ₦2, and what Access also declared 45 kobo. And what should we be expecting for the end of the year, their final dividend? So we should be expecting at least nothing less than ₦5 from Zenith Bank and GT. And that means as a result of their fantastic results. And let us even narrow down to Zenith Bank that one of their major core that they have is their commercial sectors. And we saw that one of the major loans that they gave out was to the oil sectors. That means that the business, the growth in the oil sector is being sponsored, the capital is flowing from the banking to the oil sector. That means that there will be a huge profit at the end of the year for that sector. So we are encouraging our clients to take position why the banking sector is now undervalued, so that they can position themselves for the final interim dividend. And we saw what happened during the week, that majority of the directors are using their dividend payment to buy back position for the final dividend. So we are advising our clients that this is a huge opportunity for them to come in now and take position. Let us move to the next slide. So as we have rightly advised for the market capitalizations that Access Bank, they have done their, we recommend that people should buy Fidelity. We also saw what happened to Fidelity. We recommend Fidelity for which we have been shouting that people should take position in Fidelity. And for people that have done that, Fidelity closing at high as ₦14 last week shows that our predictions and our accommodations are top notch, and anybody can rely on us. And GT also, we recommend month back that people should take position. FCMB, we also recommend people to buy, that the banking sectors seems to be attractive and people should take position in all these recommendations. Next slide. So what are our expectations for corporate actions? Access Bank has declared 45 kobo. Stanbic IBTC on the 25th of this week, their register will be closed. For people that want to take action, there's still a gap for today and tomorrow for them to key it in. Fidelity, we are expecting their corporate actions for them to declare their results, so they haven't declared. Stanbic IBTC, they'll be paying on the 30th of September, so people can still invest your dividend position for higher dividend, final dividend. UB also will be a major point of attraction this week. We expect their result to hit the market, and we are expecting at least ₦1 from UBA. Presco also, we are expecting their results. Zenith Bank has declared, they paid last week, and we send message to our clients. For people that have not received their dividends, let them reach out to us, we help them to process it, and so that they can maximize their dividend, they can reinvest and take more positions. TotalEnergies, also we are expecting their results. Seplat have declared, and we are expecting more corporate actions this week from Fidelity and from UBA. So we are encouraging our clients to take position. This is the right time to come into the market because the market is green leaf now. This is the lowest point that the market can be for the many part of the year. And we believe that the result hit the market will jump up and we still have opportunity to come in. So our recommendation for the week, so Access is also good to go. We are recommending Access, GTB, EcoBank. All these have been sent to our clients email. Let's take position. And we advise clients, if you have received capital appreciation in any sector, move it to other sectors that are still underperforming so that we can position ourselves. Let us not be greedy. Let us take part of our capital to other products. We have arrays of products for us, whether from our fixed income or our balance fund, our dollar fund. We have products that we can maximize so that we can be able to enjoy our capital gain. So all these recommendations have been sent out, and we believe that with all these recommendations, we have values for our investment. Let's move to the lifestyle. So our expectation for this week is that as results keep on coming in, we expect the market to respond to good results. So we saw what happened with Zenith, Stanbic IBTC, and that has brought a lot of capital inflow into the market. And our expectation is that as Fidelity and UBA also declare their results this week, that will be a turnaround for the market, and people should take position before the results in the market. We recommend Fidelity, and we saw what happened. Even when the result is not out, we saw the huge increase in Fidelity, and we are also expecting that in UBA also. UBA have not released to the market how they are going about their capitalization, and that would be a very wonderful opportunity for people to take position before the announcement in the market. So as the result comes out, we are expecting that the market should be a mixed market this week. After the meeting tomorrow, CBN is going to tell us the direction of the economy, and that also will impact on what will happen on other sectors. Because the lower the interest, that will mean that for sectors, industrial sectors, consumer goods that are suffering as a result of high interest rates, we also have access to capital at a very low price so that they can be able to turn the economic around. So our expectation is that we expect a sideways trade for this week, and the market we respond to result as result comes into the market, whether from the NPR meeting or from the corporate actions or the half-year results. That will be one of the major ticker for the market. So I've come to the end of presentations. We wish all our clients wonderful week as we entertain questions. If there are questions from our client, the floors are open for questions on both money market, the capital market, the financial markets. We are here to do justice to all our questions. So the floor is open. Kindly signify by the raising of our hands so that we can meet for. Yes, the question, can we invest in live stocks at this point, be a penny stocks? And yes, we saw that part of it that USC also has also increased their holding in livestock. So they are also diversifying it. And we saw what has happened, that from 1 naira, it has been to 2 naira. So for people, we encourage people to buy. So it's not part of our recommendation for people that are interested can also take advantage of that, take position, and it's going to be, it's a welcome development. We saw USC taking position in that stock. They have increased their holding in livestock, and believing that as the economy get better, that people begin to spend more. They are into livestock, they are into egg production, and we saw the price of those commodities now. They are increasing. So I believe it's also a good one. So what are the opportunities in the for? I said it in our last presentation that there is a need for our investors to hedge. Hedging means that irrespective of what is happening in another market, you can take position if the prices are going high in terms of commodities. So what position should we take? We will take position in those companies that are doing well. Talks about the oil and gas sectors. We saw that they will be the first beneficiary of their decisions. And we can also see in the results from the banking company that of the loans are being given to those sectors, of their profit are coming from the oil sectors. So the advantage that we can take is now for people that are already in that. We have said it earlier that people should go into that oil sectors, and we saw application in that sector. So just take out the profit that you have made in oil sectors also come to other sectors like the banking sector that are still underperforming now and what make profit from there. So from the high pricing for the oil sectors are going to benefit from it, and then the other sectors also we look for how they can diversify and use other means so that they can be able to break even in terms of cost. But we expect the banking sectors, because they are the ones that are providing funds for those sectors. So the banking sector will benefit from it. The oil and gas sectors also will benefit from it. And we also expect the industrial sector also to also benefit in terms of infrastructure and a lot of things that are still gaps in the economy. How high can Zenith Bank go? So to be honest, at least our own expectations that we are predicting for Zenith Bank to do what 48 naira 50 kobo. So currently it closed at 57 naira 80 kobo. So I mean the true value of Zenith Bank is hovering over 48 naira 50 kobo. So there is still huge margin for them to go. So it's good by at least around that 48.50. That's our expectation for Zenith Bank for now. So Geregu had over 1.5 billion last week. What is your thought over that? I have said it that we have also seen what is happening. The cost of power in Nigeria is going high. And we saw that move that Otedola has also shown what the economic, or where the economic is setting to. And we are seeing a more of like a free, that the government have deregulated that sector, that can no longer subsidize these means. And we saw high cost of energy. So they are going to benefit a lot. There's still huge gap in that sector that they need to, in terms of infrastructures, and then so they will still make huge profits in terms of power. Power is good to go. Currently, Nagregu is very overpriced. And for people that want to take a position, why can't you come to other sectors and make the money? But currently, it's on high side. Well, for our friends that are taking position, and we congratulate them. But currently, it's very on a high side. So we have another question. So in view of the recent delay in payment by FD, so we saw the DMO came out that they had a glitch in their in sending out money. So it's not a big deal. Since the money is not in foreign denominated currency, it's naira, so they have what it takes to pay. So let us not just panic about that. And due time, they are going to make every payment. So there's no need for us to panic about that. The fund are just naira applications, and the fund is there for them to meet their application. So there's no need for us to worry. So any other questions? The floors are open for questions. So we encourage our clients to call us. We have a range of products from foreign dominated products. Our need dollar fund are here so that we can diversify our funds. We also have fixed income instrument. Our need fixed income instrument are there. Our need balance fund comprises of both the equity and fixed income instruments for people that want to have the true flavor of the market. So we have a range of products. We want you to reach out to us to help you to manage your fund, and we promise to give you fantastic return on investment. If there are no other questions, so we really appreciate our highly esteemed client for always being there for us, and we also promise. Okay, we have a question. Yes, we reach out to all our clients. The payment was due on Friday. That was on 28th of September. I will reach out to our clients. Some have been paid and some have not been paid. So what we promise them that we are going to reach out to the Veritas registrar that why are there late payments. And so we reach out to our client today on update for as many that have not received their dividend. So we have promised that. So thank you. So we've come to the end of the meeting for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the very best return on all your financial decisions and all your endeavors this week. Thank you for joining us. Do have a great week ahead. Thank you.